What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we put the real in reality, bitch.
Oh, why bitch?
I just want
Y'all
them to
not
know.
bitches.
They are, though.
Oh!
And that's okay.
No,
Anyways,
the Kingdom bitches.
I'm your host, Pharaoh. We are joined by our wonderful co-host, Lee. Lee, how you doing?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. This is a really good premiere, y'all.
It was low-key a good premiere.
I feel
sorry.
so bad for this season as a whole.
I'm sorry.
Like, not having 24/7 live feeds, like, it's
I'm
really a disgrace.
sorry.
It's really a disgrace.
I'm
We lost.
sorry.
We really did.
We lost bad because this looks like a
Terribly.
good cast, in my opinion.
Everything I've seen so far, I've been liking it. Now, okay, for the girls who don't know, the newest digital daily
It dropped.
has dropped, and there are some updates, child.
Girl.
And some of the updates I'm not too fond of, but overall, still, like, I'm here for.
I guess. So first of all, you see the title. We will be covering Big Brother Canada 11 premiere. We're gonna be talking about the first episode and the second episode.
Mm-hmm.
Today we will give you all the tea, all the good tea. We also have very little. We have very little digital daily tea to drop in here and there. The update on the digital dailies is that I'm gonna just tell y'all. Apparently, they're digital week dailies. We will be getting them Monday through Friday, allegedly. Because we don't know if the content that they had under the digital daily is correct, because they have March 10th on there. They had that this is from March 53rd. Like, I don't know.
Like
they don't know what they're doing.
Clearly, they were not prepared going into launching digital dailies because the shit not even adding up correctly.
Adding up. They dropped one of the digital dailies already today. It's 2 hours and 33 minutes. It's 2 hours and 33 minutes, and it's for yesterday. So you get that 2 hour 33 minute chunk. It looks like it's just a random chunk in the day that they cut 2 hours 33 minutes out of, and they're showing us that. It probably has a lot of game talk in that chunk. That's what I'm assuming. Mm-hmm. But hey,
because we were skipping around. It's like we saw a lot of game conversations, so it doesn't seem like I thought this was going to be edited feeds. It's very much like you said, like Arissa said, after dark. Like it's a random 2 hour 33 minute splice, which I mean. Still not. It's not good. It's not good. But at least we're able to get some real good game conversation, and that's what I'm saying. It makes me still just a little bit optimistic because you know how she was saying we want to be able to give you all this information that we still gave you. It's like if they're doing these random 2 hours, if someone is being a little bit racist and 2 hours 33 minutes, I hope that's the 2 hours that's motherfucking involved.
They will definitely choose the next 2 hours segment.
The next two that will be an hour.
Yeah, hour 15. I think it doesn't seem like it's going to be a consistent amount of time, or maybe it's roughly 2 hours and 30 minutes, and it can go 2 hours 28 or 2 hours 35. Maybe that's the goal. Mm-hmm. But that's the move. And
at the end of the day, it's 24 hours in the day, bitch.
This is the move,
and we move. Our to the best.
Period. Let's get into these motherfucking episodes though, and we will give you all the tea. There's a lot of opinions I have. So starting off, episode 1, the premiere.
Do we have like a cast thing?
What I can put up is I can pull up the draft, so we have all the people on the cast on the screen for the drafts at least. So let me at least do that. I got the ill. It don't got their names on it though. So maybe we need something with the names on it. Oh well, child. You can have their images. Look like. You can have their images.
Google is your friend.
Like. Google is your friend. You will at least have their images on there. That's what I will pull up for y'all. Oh, not an echoing. Okay, boom. All right. If you are a visual learner, if you need to know what the girls look like, you can see them. It's not going to have their names. You can Google. Google is your friend, period. But I mean, I'm assuming if you watch the premiere, you've got a good idea. So good luck. Let me change this. All right, boom. So we started off the episode. And this is the premiere episode. Arissa comes on. And we get the first, introduction of the house guests. But we kind of already know the introductions because the introductions were the same videos they dropped pre-season
on
or whatever.
The Big Brother Canada video. Literally, if you go watch that, about 30 to 40 minutes of the premiere is that. So I skipped the first 30 minutes, and then once we got to 30 minutes in, when Arissa introduced the house guests, she told them about the theme of the house, which was what? Because it's like whodunit, mystery.
Clue,
theme.
She said. Clue. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be Clue themed or whatever. Boom. I guess that's cute.
It's cute.
Did she announce the twist too? Did she announce the twist?
She said that there will be a fatal invitation twist in the library that's going to shake up the game at some point. So, Big Brother Canada, they love they good twist those twists. So I'm pretty sure at one point it's going to be some type of power in the book, a secret veto, a coup d'etat. Who knows, child? Who knows?
So we get the first four walk in, and when the first four walk in, there's a first four alliance that's made. This kind of always happens. It's never really goes anywhere low key. But that four is Kuziva Kwashe. How you say her name?
Kuziva Kwashe. Kuziva Kwashe. Say it correctly.
It's Kuziva Kwashe, Santina, Ty, and Zach. And if you are a visual learner, Kuziva Kwashe and Santina are the two people in the middle on my side.
The mother in the middle.
Ty's the one on the bottom middle on Lee's side, and then Zach is on my side. He's in the middle on the right. Or whatever, period. So the four of them made a cute little pinky swear, pinky promise that they're gonna have each other back. Girl, I don't know.
And it's like, people do this every time in Canada. Specifically, like, I mean, one of the most notable one is the first five alliance that actually stuck together and took it for the first few weeks.
They were taking
the first 5 weeks.
They were taking it. 5 was their number.
But other than that, I mean, it really doesn't happen. Remember last season, BBK 10 was it Josh Summer, Jason, and Gino. It was what was it?
I don't remember what it was called, but they did make it. Something like honey bunches of oats.
Honey bunches, that was cute. That was cute.
Yes, that was cute. Did not go anywhere.
So anywhere at all.
It kept getting mentioned randomly though. Like it'd be top 9.
And all of them made it pretty far.
Yeah, they made it far.
Like they work together.
They should have. They could have made Final Four. They could have won the game. No, they couldn't have. Kevin had Josh on a. I won't say a word. So after this, we see the girls in that group, Santina and Kuzi. Why can I say her name? Santina and Kuzi.
But if you're gonna say mother's name, you'd say it correctly.
Kuziva Kwashe.
Big Daddy K.
Kuziva Kwashe.
Kuziva Kwashe. Her name is beautiful. And for the girls who doesn't know,
Kuziva Kwashe.
Her name literally means God's wisdom, all-knowing. Type.
It could just mean God, and I'd be okay.
So my thing is, Kuzi's coming to win. It's her birthright.
It's just natural for her. So Kuzi and Santina are in the kitchen, and then the boys, they go to like the library room. It's Ty and Zach. And Ty and Zach are immediately, we got each other back. Let's link it up. We're boys. I saw a dick and I got happy. Like, calm down. That's dead ass how they be. Men get so
happy
when they get another man.
We got this.
Like they are standing in front of two beautiful women. They're standing in front of two beautiful women, and they thinking, I want to get alone in this room with this man. Like, ooh, I just know Zach pussy started leaking when he saw Ty. Like, and vice versa. Like, these niggas are so. Ugh.
That's what I say. It's the Alpha Tate Alliance. Hopefully, child. I just hope this does not. I manifested it, so I honestly should have expected it.
Mm-hmm. So later on, everybody else kind of trickles in. We get cute scenes of people kind of just meeting each other. We see Amal have a scene, and Amal is like telling all the tea. She's like, "This is the winner of this season. Dame didn't win. Anthony actually played better than Dame, but Dame won." We see here, this is Phil and Nick. Like she was everything. I'm like, hey,
also, you didn't want to announce like the 4 that came in.
You can do it. I mean, I don't have it written down, honestly, truly. Don't know. Skipped past. I told you I skipped past the first 30 minutes. I was dead ass.
So the next 4 was Amal, Hope, Jonathan, and Renee. They came in together. And then, that scene did happen. She was talking to Hope and Zach about the mural. Because there's a mural in the house that has all the final 2s. And this girl was literally listing off every single person on the goddamn mural. She said, I'm a huge fan. Mind you, neither one of these 2 are fans. So, literally, it was bad for me. I was like, sister, be quiet. Be quiet.
Period. And what happened next, King? Because I don't have the list.
Well, the next 4 after that was Anika, Daniel, Claudia, and Daniel.
Claudia, and Daniel?
Oh, my.
Damn, I don't know who it is.
Wait, who is it? Oh, it's Rob. Anika, okay. Daniel, Claudia, and Rob. They all come in together, and I really like because Daniel and Anika have a moment. He was like, I saw the red dress with the long hair. I knew what Patty was walking in. I was like, period.
And quick tea on that. I was skimming through the digital dailies, and Daniel and Anika are always by each other, like the entire time. Like I saw them in the kitchen sitting together. They flashed to them on the dining room table. They're sitting together, so I think they're pretty close, honestly.
And then Rob and Hope, they have their other Alpha Tate bonding moment. men just become fast friends. Like they just love.
Like I said, they see a man and they just love. Like I said, they see a man and they get horny. It's like I don't know. And then there's only one more group that comes in, right?
Yeah, there's one more group that comes in, and then it's John Michael, Shania, Dan, and Vanessa.
Okay, boom. So at this point, everybody's in the house. They're all good to go. They come back from Kersha and Arissa. They're all in the living room, and this is when they do the meeting each other, don't they? They get to know each other.
Yeah.
Yes. So they quickly kind of do some introductions here and there. We see Kuzi have her iconic introduction. We see they only show the introduction for like 4 people though. So that's why I was like, okay, cool.
After that, Kuzi's in. They knew who Mother was.
But they did show Kuzi. After that, that's when Arissa comes on an announcement and she's like, y'all got to pair up for the HOH. We see immediately Rob and Hope pair up. Clearly they have a bond. So they pair up. We see Ty and Zach kind of pair up. I don't have the pairs listed. All of them. Do you have all the pairs listed? Because I do not.
Okay. So what happens is Kuzi reads the invitation letter, and they initially get to go and see the rooms, and they're all called down by Arissa. And she reveals to them that there's going to be no eviction in the first week. And then she also reveals the dead last twist. So moving forward, whoever gets last in the competition, they will be the third nominee. And then they go off into the pairs. And then basically the people who picked each other, you have Dan and Vanessa, John Michael and Santina, Rob and Hope picked each other. And that's when we have that little secret scene. Rob and Hope kind of go separately off into the pantry. And he's telling, Rob is telling Hope, he's like, hey, Hope, like, we don't want to win necessarily because we don't want to put someone up. We don't want to be last either, of course. You know what I mean? And then Renee and Shania are with each other. Amal and Kuzi are with each other. There's Zach and Ty, Anika and Daniel, and then Jonathan and Claudia.
Boom. So then the HOH competition starts. They have to essentially it's like a three pieces to the motherfucking shit. They gotta get their puzzle pieces first. They have to like untie them from this rope. And it's a bunch of knots holding the puzzle pieces together. So you get all your puzzle pieces out. After that, the other player is at the top of this banner shit. It's like a balcony. And they have to come down in this net. And the net like twists open so you can get out of it. So you have to get out of the net. And once you get out of the net, you and your partner are going to solve the puzzle. And then the first pair to complete this will go to the next stage, which will determine which one of them are going to win HOH. And of course, there's a twist that if the last pair or if the last person to lose is going to be nominated. So the last pair to finish are going to also compete in the second part. And the person who loses that will be the third nominee for the week. So this is
I really don't like this twist. I really don't like this twist. I just feel like, first of all, there's no limit on the twist because you can basically be last in the competition every single week. And I'm just not a fan of twists where it's like, even if the competitions are equitable, it's like you're losing a competition. Like that's not the game. You know what I mean? So it's like no matter what. I mean, there can be a situation where the minority finally gets to the HOH and blew their bestie on the block, and now what? Now their bestie is going home on their HOH. It's terrible. It's basically anyone remembers BB20, the hacker competition. Yeah, it's basically what it is. If a third person gets on the block and there's a majority in lines, and that person's not in the majority, that person is going home. Yeah. So hopefully they realize how stupid this is and switch it up.
Yeah. Hoping for the best. I never really liked Twist that much at all. This is particularly a bad twist. Honestly, when I first heard about it, it was before I watched the episode, and I didn't think much about it because I was like, oh, okay, that's whatever it is. And then when I watched the episode and I was like thinking about it, I was like, oh, wait. Then I go on Twitter and a lot of people like immediately clock. They're like, well, this is just terrible. Because like Lee said, if it's a majority alliance, all they have to do is not get last in the HOH. They can be nominated. It could be a majority alliance of all the men in the house. And it could be 2 men on the block. As long as one of the men didn't get last in the HOH, boom, the lady on the block is going home, for example. And it's like, that would be boring.
It really sucks. Like, is this Big Brother or is this the challenge? The challenge Big Brother Hammer, that's the twist.
I don't know. So hopefully they just end this. They ended the BB Can 9 teams twist very fast. It literally only lasted 1 week. It was supposed to last, 3 weeks or something? It did not. So hopefully they realize this is low-key stupid. And then they just end it because it's just, and it's like they only have a twist just to have a twist. That's what's kind of annoying to me. It's like, it's just a twist just to have one. It's not a twist. There's no reason behind it. They just want a twist. They want it to be big. And it's like, I don't know, maybe just do it for the first week. I think it works okay for the first week because it's like no one has any bonds yet. You can still make alliances now. But after that, when things are all formed together, all it does is just put people in the minority in a bad position. Bless you. So hey, there's that. But we get to the HOH competition. We start off, and very quickly there's like a few teams who get the lead because they're able to get through the net fast. Like everybody kind of unties their pieces, and then we start getting through the net. People start getting stuck. But the teams that get through are Rob and Hope. And I was like, damn, Ty and Zach.
And it's like, no.
Damn. But so do Jonathan and Santina. And John Michael and Santina also get through. And so does Daniel and Anika.
And so it's like, okay. Daniel was moving, baby.
He was
moving. I was like, period, Daniel.
So I was like, okay. So I was like, I'm gonna see what happens.
That would have been the worst timeline imaginable. These men, that's the thing. We peaked that these men were gonna leak up before the season even started. They're doing so, literally so much so that Jonathan is in the dining room. He's like, I wanted to be Roberto, but I got stuck with Claudia. Like, oh my God. Like, it is terrible. So I'm so glad about what happens next.
Period. So John Michael and Santina, they're doing the puzzle, and John Michael was like, we don't want to win. Like, we shouldn't win. I don't want to win.
And I was like, can get us?
Because considering the people you were up against, because we find out later, well, we know that John Michael was like, I'm nomming all the men. And it's like, if that's the case, why were you okay with losing HOH when there was 4 men in competition to win it? Like, I don't know. But Santina was like,
literally had to tell him, like,
no, babe.
Put this up. Like,
it's giving win. It's giving
win. And he's like, are you sure? Yeah, we're winning.
Yeah. I like this from Santina. It was very, I don't know. I feel like in that moment, I would be nervous. I would be thinking about the puzzle. I would be in game mode. I would be very, it would be a lot for me. So him saying he doesn't want to win, it was good that she was able to convince him literally while doing the puzzle that they need to win because she wanted that HOH. Well, she wanted them at least to be safe.
Which is really smart. You need to prioritize your safety. Like, at the end of the day, I mean, the little bit of the disadvantage we got, we don't know how socialized that John Michael is in the game. We don't know how insulated he is in the game yet. And it's like, if these Alpha Bros got their first HOH, I don't think John Michael would have any chance. Like, he had a chance now, and he would have had no chance at all. So it's like, I really like that she prioritized that safety first, because it's like, that is what's important. Like, you don't think your game in someone else's hands, and that's exactly what they would have been doing.
Period. So after this, she convinces John Michael that they need to win, and we see that we kind of flash to Hope and Rob and Zach and Ty. They're also doing the puzzle. I think Zach and Ty puzzle pieces on the ground, so it's like, okay, they're probably not going to get it. But it's like, ooh, I hope Hope and Rob don't get it. But eventually, Santina and John Michael just win the HOH. Boom. Win part 1 of the HOH competition. So them two are going to be competing to win the HOH. One of them will be HOH.
Yeah.
That's how the episode ends. That's how episode 1 ends. And then we hop into episode 2. And this is when we will see the rest of the competition play out because we have to see who lost. So hopping right in.
I was scared, y'all, because
we ended off
1.
Yes.
So the pair, everyone was doing the puzzle except my good sisters Amal and Kuzi, Shania and Renee, Jonathan and Claudia, and then who else?
Vanessa
and Dan. Yeah. So I'm just thinking, and we literally end the episode with Kuzi spinning around on her bottom in the net. So
she was in such a bad position.
I was terrified. They literally ended the episode on that. So I'm thinking like, oh no, I'm playing the scenarios in my head. Like, they can't be last. Like, oh my God. So I'm stressed, y'all.
Period. So we start off, I was scared too. I'm low-key. So we start off, and Hope and Rob and Ty and Zach and Daniel and Anika are all doing the puzzle. Everybody else is on the net. We see Hope and Rob, they get finished second. So they safe. And then we see Jonathan and Claudia finally get out of the net. And honestly, y'all, I was kind of mad because I was like, where's Kuzi in them all?
I don't get it. I don't get
a single
flying F.
I don't know.
Out of it. It needs to be Amal and Kuzi.
The next people out were Amal and Kuzi, I think.
Period.
And this is when Zach and Ty, they find a puzzle piece, so they get done. Vanessa and Jonathan get out the net, or Vanessa and Dan, whoever. Vanessa and Dan get out the net, and then we see people start finishing. So Daniel and Anika finish, Amal and Kuzi finish, and at this point, it's literally just Shania and Renee are still stuck in the net, and then Claudia and Jonathan are still doing the puzzle. So it's those last 2 teams. But Claudia and Jonathan are struggling down. Now, y'all, this puzzle was, I want to say, 9 pieces. No shade to them, but
It looked pretty easy, not gonna lie.
I don't know what to tell y'all. Get the puzzle done. But they were very much so struggling, so much so that Shania and Renee literally got out of the net and started doing their puzzle, and they still weren't done. But eventually, Claudia and Jonathan get it done. And so Shania and Renee are dead last, and they will be competing in the motherfucking dead last competition.
So I'm not gonna lie, I didn't care.
I was actually happy. I did care. I was glad it was them. I'm sorry. When it came down to Shania and Ray and Claudia and Jonathan. Yeah, when it came down to those two, I was like, oh.
Ain't be anybody.
Good luck. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But Claudia might be mothering.
Claudia might be mothering. Oh, and also we have to talk about there is a Canada save as well. Canada can vote for someone to be safe this week.
That is true. And it's probably going to be Jonathan.
Yeah, because New Zealand, New Zealanders, they usually get a hell of votes from the audience.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised
if it was him.
And he's not even being shown at all. So it's like, y'all really just did him because New Zealand, like, they don't care. They're going to ride hard for theirs.
I guess they ride hard. Maybe I'm jealous. I don't know. After this, we see Renee and Shania, they're sad because one of them are probably going to be nominated. And there's a scene of Ty and Kuzi comforting them. So Ty and Kuzi are kind of comforting them. They're like, y'all are going to be good. And it's like, okay, y'all put it in work.
Social icon.
And this is where we see Ty tell this group of people, he says, Santina and John Michael, they kind of are powerhouses, right?
And it's like, Ty, you been living too loud, babe.
Ooh,
I
was scared for him.
Just part one of the HOH. Like, how you talking shit on
one of them
two of the potential HOHs?
Are going to be HOH. Like, that was very scary. But he said it and he moved along. And then after this, we see Santina and Rob have a conversation. They're kind of walking down from the stairs, so it's not much being said. But Santina's just like, I'm glad I'm in contention for HOH because I feel shadiness. And Rob's like, what shadiness are you feeling? Are you good? And she was like, I'm just talking. It ain't nothing. And honestly, that wasn't nothing. I don't know why they showed that, but hey, they did. And then Santina has a diary room, and she's like, I don't know if I want HOH because I don't know if I want a target to be put on my back because of it. But I don't know, girl. Might as well just win it. You already have kind of a target. Ty just got done saying you're kind of a target, so might as well. After this, we see the white man. I'm sorry. Dan and Zach apparently like each other. Dan tells Zach, I like you a lot. Well, I will say, I won't be too shady because Zach hasn't mentioned liking Dan. No shade. Dan said he likes Zach. That was all.
Yeah.
And Zach, of course, disagrees.
But I feel like from Zach, we're getting a lot of active gameplay. And then I'll give a little spoiler. In the digital dailies, little snippet that we got today, a few people are picking up on it. It's very clear how much of an active player he is. So I do feel like because of that activeness, there's going to be a lot of gameplay surrounding him just naturally. It doesn't matter how good of a player you are. It's about how active of a player you are, really. Because, and of course, how good of a player you are. Handling that activeness comes to fruition at some point. But really early on, where everyone's kind of being nervous and scared, that person to kind of just be the one to be like, hey, this, and this. It's like things actually get started. So it's like, unfortunately, that's Zach.
Unfortunately. But after this, John Michael walks in on the three of them. And this is when we see Zach's perspective of John Michael. Because Zach has a diary room. And he says, a lot of these people, they're playing cute or whatever. But I think John Michael probably has the best understanding of Big Brother. And it's like, it seemed like he was saying that in a threatening way.
Yeah.
But we did get tea from the digital dailies. And was it from the digital dailies? We get some tea. I don't remember where it's from. But Zach and John Michael have a scene, I think it was from the digital dailies, where they are literally kind of like pretending to be in alliance or actually saying they're working together. They do a little group hug. John Michael tells Zach that, this was on the show, some tea. So it's like, maybe he said it in a way where he's like, I want to work with him. I couldn't tell, basically. I couldn't tell if he wanted to work with him or if he wanted to target him because he didn't really say either. After this, Santina and Hope are in the storage room. They have a cute little combo. I couldn't tell what that was. But
I think Hope's issue potentially is that what we saw in the Jay interview is what he's going to continue to kind of lead with. And that scares him because you have to go in depth with people.
Very surface level.
It can't just be joking here and there, especially if you're working with somebody. It has to be serious. I want to work with you. This is what it is.
Mm-hmm. After this, we see Zach and Jonathan talking. And then this is where we get the tea. Zach has a diary room and he says, I know who I want to work with. I want to work with people who I was instantly close to, which is Rob, Ty, and Jonathan. And it's like, instantly close to them for what?
Because they got dick and balls between their legs. Just like,
and it's like, that's just interesting to me. Like,
it's just like, of course.
So at this point, Rob walks in. So it's Rob, Jonathan, and Zach. They all fist bump. They say they got each other.
After this, too much testosterone. I hate it.
Too much man. After that,
well.
After this, we get the best season. The best scene. The best scene. Oh. Maybe not a very fun train.
I mean,
Jonathan can stay home.
I mean, he honestly.
If we just had to do it with him.
I mean, to me, it's not a problem.
Oh. He's pretty tall.
This is a very attractive cast. Like, back to back, actually.
What if I'll ask off. Hypothetically, this is a good cast.
Choo.
Because if it had to be all of them, I think I would accept my fate. Anyways, Zach. Rob walks in. They all fist bump. They agree. This is when we get the best scene in the motherfucking episode because it is with Ty and Big Daddy Kane. Period. They very quickly are like, Ty says, bitch, we good. He says,
basically.
He said, I was so happy when you and Amal didn't lose because, baby, you know what's what. They basically agreed that them two are our final two, and it's like, period.
And it's like, that's the thing. That's the thing. They were scared in the Big Brother Canadian season after watching the cookout. We need a proper Big Brother Canada cookout.
Need it to happen.
We need a proper Big Brother Canada cookout. We need the niggas to link up and take us to the end together. Now,
it's gonna be hard. We lost one. Unfortunately,
that's the problem. We lost.
It would be
one.
4.
The Digital Daily has not updated us on any, further build upon that. But that's the thing. I mean, I don't got much to build upon.
So after this, we see Shania and Rob talk, and this is where we get a hint at a showmance. Now, I will say, watching the Digital Daily, Shania and Rob are linked up. They are definitely around each other frequently, just on the little bit of Digital Daily I saw. So we can assume that might be a showmance. That's the thing. Shania had a diary room. She said Rob is the hottest guy in the house. I have a crush, and it's like, Rob. What is Rob gonna say? Get away from me? No.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm pretty sure they're gonna end up linking up.
And I definitely saw this. I feel like when you mentioned Dan, I was like, that's possible too. But my initial
your initial thought was Rob.
Only because Rob
I see it.
Honestly, I think it's just because I feel like, generally speaking, most people will probably say Rob is the most attractive. Yeah. And I think most people say Shania is probably the most attractive. Yeah. But it isn't true because, of course, Kuzi, Nico,
And
but we're going based off
for the men and Ty and Hope.
But we're going based off of
European standard.
And look what's happening. So, of course. But no, I'm not surprised. I'm not gagged. However, this is really interesting, right? Because from the Digital Daily update, we have that Renee and Ty. And for the girls, we didn't talk about this earlier, but it was definitely given Renee was going to be with Ty because she was all up in that man's face in the premiere. No shade. She was definitely trying to get with Ty.
When Ty and Kuzi were comforting her, Renee walks in the room and immediately walks to Ty. There's 3 people in the room. She walks right into Ty's arm and leans.
That's her man.
And it's like,
that's her man. So it's definitely Renee and Ty and Rob and Shania. But this is where it gets interesting because Zach and Jonathan are not looking for a showmance. And then allegedly, from my understanding, Dan and Claudia don't have any connections. So it's like, well, that means because how we thought the showmans were going to play out aren't playing out the way they are. Yeah, it's way less. It's probably only going to be the 2.
Yeah, which is okay.
Which is really happy because I feel like we saw this episode. So a player like Claudia, who we assumed would just be in the showmans, all about that, who I think would have been. She basically said she damn near would have been. Yeah, is now forced to not be that.
Yeah,
so I'm excited.
These episodes felt like, to me at least, I hate to put this on her, but because Claudia said she was happy to be in the showmans, this is why I'm saying this. It seemed like she got in the house, she was searching, no one found her, and now she's playing the game. And I support that. I fucking love
it. She said, okay, well, option A is not here, time for option B. Plan B. We don't want with a plan B.
Period.
Plan A for the man, plan B for the game.
plan to be stuck with your damn. Shout out to Meg. Okay, after this time, Rob, the stallion. What'd she say? I said, I don't fuck with horses. Let me shut up. This is not the Pop Culture Podcast. But anyways, stay tuned for the Pop Culture Kingdom.
I don't stand for that anyway. It's Team Megan all day.
Ooh.
Period.
Hey, Rob. Red Ruby to sleep. Ty and Rob talk about being on the same page. Essentially, they are besties or whatever. So Ty and Rob are linked up, of course. This is when Ty mentions Ty is implementing seeds already. Mm-hmm. I think Ty's playing pretty good. He got the 4 boys, kind of confirmed by this conversation, and he has Kuziva Crochet. Shit!
You gonna say my bitch name right?
I'm gonna get the mother's name.
You're
right.
gonna say my sister's name right?
Or
not say it at all.
Not say it all.
Because your skin is way too melanated for you to be saying this girl's name wrong.
I just don't know.
Crochet.
It's just it's simple.
Kuziva Crochet. Okay.
I just feel like when you're a mother, sometimes you just make me nervous, and I think that's what it is. Like she's just so elegant that I'm getting scared. Anyways, Ty and Rob are on the same page. Ty mentions he plants the seed that John Michael could sway people. And I'm not gonna feel comfortable till I get him out. We see Rob have a diary room repeating exactly what Ty says. I'm not saying Ty runs Rob, but I do feel like Rob was very quickly. We didn't see Rob have this thought until this conversation where Ty said the exact words that Rob said. And I'm gonna leave it at that. You can interpret that the way you would like.
And this is interesting too because it's also a confirmation from Ty that like the core of the guys 4 is Zach, Jonathan, Ty, and Rob, which I did not expect. I thought Hyde would be a main part in it. I thought Dan might be a main part in it. Mainly I thought he would be a showman. From what we're saying, he's not any type of showman, and he's connected with the men, but he's not in that core. So it's just like it's really interesting the way these connections are kind of shaping up, and I don't feel like they're gonna last.
Hopefully not. Period.
Let's pray.
Yes. So this is when Ty is like insinuating he would prefer Santina to win the HOH because Ty says he feels like they can work with Santina. And we get tea from the digital dailies that Santina and Zach at least are probably working together. So there's that tea. Yeah. And we know that Ty just said in this conversation he feels like they can work with Santina. So we don't know any other tea. I'm telling you what I heard. After this, Renee and Claudia talk. And like we said, Claudia's trying to play the game.
Claudia said, I'm here to play.
So Claudia, she's like, Renee, Renee said it. She's like, wouldn't it be cute if the girls linked up? And Claudia was like, it's clear all the boys are bonding. And you know what that means. That's very scary. So the girls might need to link up. Now, it's great what they're saying. But in contrary to the men are all speaking to each other a lot. We see, even though Hope's not in the alliance, Rob and Hope were linking up in the HOH. They're talking to each other a lot. Dan and Zach had a conversation.
Some way.
All the men, well, except for the gay men, which is terrible, have had a connection. So that's 6 of them. With the women who are alleged, trying to make this girls' alliance, which is Claudia and Renee, we only see Claudia and Renee talk to each other.
Yeah. And then you'll see Shania with Renee.
And that's all.
But you don't really see any other mixing other than that.
And it's like that might be a problem if y'all don't get that together. When the boys bond, or the boys bond.
Yeah.
Whether you're in the alliance or not.
It's an instant link up.
Yes. When the girls bond, it's always like, oh, it's just 2 of us. And if they try to combine, it seems like it gets split, like the 2 on this side and 2 on, and then they can't work together. It just needs to be more than just 2, babe. Y'all need to be talking to all the women. If you want to work with the women, talk to all the women. I haven't seen that so far. We only got 2 episodes. So maybe that's why. Boom. They have a random fashion show. All I got from this was that Vanessa ate it the fuck up. Had a beautiful wig on. Looking like mother. Great gowns. Beautiful gowns. That's all. After this, we see Kuzi. She's in a room with Jonathan, Zach, and Ty. Jonathan, Zach, and Ty are in an alliance. Kuzi walks out of the room. And when they leave, they ask, how do we feel about her? And Zach speaks. Zach is very active. Zach is the first one to speak. Zach has a lot of he's leading a lot of game talks. He says, I don't know how I feel about her, but I feel good about y'all. And it's like, okay, King.
But you better get the feeling good about her real
quick. This is when he says, well, I could get the white women. Oh, he didn't say that. But he said I could get Renee and Shania. And Ty, you could maybe get.
And Ty's like, I got Koozie.
Ty's like, I got Koozie. And Jonathan's like, I might have Claudia because we're from small town girls. So they kind of talk about the vague, is it vague? Whatever. A loose parachute alliance structure.
Mm-hmm. AKA Pretty Boy, AKA Cookout, AKA a brigade. It's not giving they're gonna be able to pull it.
Good luck.
I just don't feel like it's like literally while we're seeing the Boys Alliance be built, we're also seeing people clock it in real time. Yeah. So and even with the digital dailies, like the conversations we've seen, people are very much realizing it.
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna.
However,
pan out
we also know from the digital dailies that Zach has some type of connection with Santina. So clearly, he's someone that's been able to also pivot in a way of okay, well, not all just men.
And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, we can talk about it later. But I'm gonna put a pin in my mind, and I'm gonna talk to you about it later. By the way, y'all, with the digital dailies, stay tuned on Tuesday because we will be covering that. I just wanted to remind y'all.
We can be a quick rundown.
Because that's it. We're telling y'all a little tea here and there. We will have all of the information.
And from what they say, there's no Saturday and Sunday digital dailies. So
we will be able to give you whatever we have.
I'm assuming they're just gonna post whatever happened on Saturday and Sunday on Monday, but we only got 2 hours and 33 minutes today, so I'm assuming it's only going to be 2 to 3 hours, maybe. So,
maybe it'll be like 4 hours.
But either way, we'll give you all the tea on Tuesday.
We'll give you all the tea. So after this, they agree they want to do the Doom. Zach has a diary room. He says, "I'm in a relationship, but I'm down to flirt. Good luck." After this,
not being at home watching your man say that in the house for 80 days.
I'm gonna say that.
I'm throwing all your shit out.
No.
After
this, Daniel
for 70 days.
Oh no, Daniel, and this honestly, this scene, this point sounds so bad, but the scene kind of made me like sad because I was hoping it was a scene of Daniel about to strategize, but instead it was a scene of Daniel finding the Circle K room. That was all. It's like, damn. Because there's we get a lot of game talk from Zach and some from Koozie, and we get a lot from Ty, and we get a lot from Rob.
But guess what matters?
Like, where's everybody else doing?
The sponsors. The sponsors have to get their check first. Okay? So we're going to see the Circle K room. We are going to see it, babe, because they paid for it.
This is the move?
And we move. They paid for it. Somebody's going to find it.
Zach and Claudia's walk, and this is when I got scared again because it's like, okay, Zach, you already got your boys. Back up. Yeah, bitch, back up off me. Like, it was a lot. But Claudia gagged him because they're talking, and basically she ignores what he said. I don't even remember what he says because she ignores it. And she responds, and she's like, so what about you and your bromance? And Zach gets scared, like visibly. I feel like if I was her, I would have clocked because he's like,
and it's like, Claudia is a bold one for that. She was like, so, I mean,
I see you got your bromances going on. See, all the boys are together.
Question mark.
And he was like, oh, who is people saying that? What's that about?
She had him stuttering and stuttering like.
And she literally, Claudia's she's laying down, she's smiling, and he's just talking to himself because he's like, were people saying that? Well, I mean, that's like not really
so obvious and see through. He got the first evicted. He said, what are you doing?
Period. So Zach has a diary room, and he's like, my fear is coming to fruition because people are mentioning boys and da da da. And I don't think he's gonna do anything about that.
Well, that's the thing. Clearly, he is because what we know from digital dailies, he's working closely with Santina, and we would assume. I assume that if he's working with Santina, that he also brought in the core boys with him. Yeah. So I can assume at this moment that Santina is with the 4 boys, and we don't know who else in it. But you can also assume because of the showmances, Shania and Renee could be in it. So who knows? We don't.
Doesn't feel. Sure, I will say, it doesn't feel like Renee's in it because there was a conversation with Ty and Renee. If this is a thing, there was a conversation with Ty and Renee was scared about what she should do about being on the block, and it kind of felt like Ty was talking to her as someone on the outside, giving her advice, not like someone in the core alliance who's probably going to be safe no matter what. She seems scared. But everybody else could be in that. I don't think I would like that at all. But anyways, we move. This is when we get the scene. Y'all, we lost. Because this is when Arissa calls the producers call everybody to the
they didn't even get Arissa. They didn't want Arissa to go do it.
Yeah, it was the producers. They call everybody to the living room. And they announced that Amal had to leave for personal reasons. And it's like, damn. And now this, it was my heart dropped because Amal, y'all see, I picked them all from my draft.
One, they just randomly dropped it on us. I'm thinking it was fine, man. We getting scene after scene. Oh, I'm so excited, and randomly,
in the middle of episode,
I was like, what's going on? Yeah, I'm so sad because I really, really love them all. She has a very bubbly and bright personality. I would have loved to see how far she could have made it, how well she could have potentially done. Like, I'm sad. I really am sad. Like, she delivered so much for what we saw. So to see that taken away, it's like, damn. But I hope whatever personal reason is nothing too bad. If it is, I'm praying for her. I hope she's good. They didn't disclose it, but that's her business, of course. And it just sucks. It just sucks.
Yeah, it does. That was really sad. And fuck you bitches on Twitter. Because bitches on Twitter like, oh, you're a super fan and you quit and this, and this. It was very clearly personal reasons. If you
said that?
Girl, yes. I was so livid. Dead ass. I sent it to you. But the issue is, if any of you have this type of feeling, like literally, I almost said something crazy. Shut the fuck up. That's all I'll say. Because that's ridiculous. This is a show, babe. This is a game. This is not real for real. This is a whole literally game. There's real life going on, babe. You bitches be forgetting these bitches are real people. These are not characters. This is not anime, bitch. This is real ass shit. This is real ass people, real ass feelings, real ass emotions, real ass personal shit going on in real life. You don't know what the fuck happened in her real life because they did not disclose it and you don't fucking know. How about you sit down and shut the fuck up and watch everybody else? I don't know. Because that's the thing. You clearly have animosity. You didn't want to see her anyways. So shut up.
Anyway, exit stage for the fucking left. He said it.
Period. After this, Kuzi and Santina talk. I don't like this conversation, especially knowing what I know from the digital dailies. Now it makes this conversation confirm my suspicions that I was very hoping it was not. Kuzi and Santina talk.
All I gotta say is side eye, bombastic.
Side eye.
Side eye, Santina.
Side eye.
Because from the digital daily information, I'm scared.
So Kuzi says, Santina is very likely going to be the HOH, so I want to cover all my bases. Period.
A strategic social mastermind.
Basically, Kuzi is talking to Santina, and she's just kind of asking her very general questions like, oh, it's going to be really hard for you to be HOH. You feeling okay? How are you doing? Do you have any thoughts? And Santina has diary. She's like, I'm just not going to give this information to Kuzi. And she's replying to Kuzi very loosely. She's not So sorry. I got an update about the digital dailies. Kuzi applies that. And basically, Santina is like, I'm not going to give Kuzi too much. She's not giving Kuzi anything at all. And she has a diary. She's like, I like Kuzi, but I'm not going to give away my plan. And at the moment, it just felt like Santina was being very standoffish. I was like, let me wait for Santina to talk to someone else and see if she's giving the same energy before I feel some type of way. But at the moment, I was like, this is weird. Y'all just met each other. Why aren't you being nice? Because she just wasn't being friendly. And I was like, maybe that's just Santina. So I wanted to wait for another conversation. But we get one. Before we get it, Rob and Jonathan talk. And they just bond very, very heavily. One thing about men, they're gonna bond with each other.
Girl,
and it's like Rob was bonding with Hope, and then we saw Jonathan and Zach bond. Now Jonathan and Rob bonding. Ty and Zach was bonding. It's like they're just so interlocked. So it's like, damn, like.
And it's like, I think he was telling him like a story about like his children and his background. Like it's like a really, really deep personal story. Like. And like they showing that for a reason. It's just like, oh my god, like they love each other, don't they? They're the big four. They're the big score. Like
I wouldn't say big.
It's just like
the unfortunate four.
It's like they sealed together by testosterone. Like I don't understand it.
You don't have testosterone. After this, you do, but you should understand them. No.
I don't get it.
I don't think it's the testosterone. I think they're in love with each other. I think they're in love with each other. That's what it is. I think they love other men.
So do I.
In a platonic way. Santina and Claudia talk. And, I was comparing this conversation to the one of Kuzi, just analyzing. And I will say Santina's side of the conversation didn't seem too much more energetic. She still has like a monotone kind of energy. And Claudia was giving Santina information, whereas Kuzi was kind of asking questions. So that's the difference I noticed. But I felt energy differences. I don't know. But anyways, Santina was like, I wouldn't put you up 1,000%. She didn't say that to Kuzi, but Kuzi was in the storage room. Ty was kind of nearby.
Yeah.
I don't know, but she didn't say that. But Santina was like, I wouldn't put you up 1,000%, Claudia. And Claudia was like, well, what would you put up? Who do you think you would put up? And Santina doesn't really say anything. And then Claudia's like, well, the bros kind of link it up, don't you think?
And it's like,
Santina's like, I don't know. Like, And Santina's like, I don't know, maybe they're aligning, but maybe they're just friends. And Claudia, she has a diary room, and she's like, baby, hello, the boys always are linking up. What's this? And it's like,
Claudia, what the between the G's and we can't 11?
And like, it was giving, I'm so sorry, Santina. The conversation, it was giving Bird because Santina didn't seem receptive. Moved to the digital dailies. Her and Zach
are besties. And from the thing is, from what we see on the episodes and so far in digital daily, the only person she seemed open to have a conversation with and share information with was really Zach. Like, and it's like, oh Lord. So she's not going after an alpha male. Well, not one of the Zach's people.
I will say it feels like this is my perception of the thing. She had a lot to say about Hope in not a positive way. It feels like I'm not going after the alpha men in my lives, but I still want to go after a man. So hopefully that's what it is. Hopefully she's trying to push. Maybe I can get out Hope, even though he's not in this group or something like that. Because at least it's an alpha man, but I don't know. I don't know that that's what's happening at all. Unfortunately. So after this, we see Dan, Zach, and John Michael talk. Yes, this was an episode. They were in the storage room, and Zach was like, it just seems like the guys got together so fast, and I'm not sure if I want to do that. He's saying this because John Michael's in the room, I'm assuming, and Dan, because Dan and John Michael are not in that whole group of boys. And then John Michael says, "Oh, I'm nominating the guys if I may show it."
And I was just like, John Michael, what?
And he's like, "I'll say it in front of them. I don't care. I'm nominating the guys." And Zach has an iron when he shook. He's like, "Oh," and it's like, "Yeah, he's on that ass." So after that, they all hug, and Zach kind of agrees, like, "I got y'all back." So Zach has like his finger, his toes, in a lot of pop.
And I was really hoping John Michael kind of snatches HOH after this, because it's like, John Michael, do what you gotta do.
Do what you said. After this, Santina and John Michael, they talk, they agree that they're not nominating each other no matter who wins. John Michael says, we can definitely build trust together. I think we could work together well. Boom. We go to the HOH comp / the dead last comp. For this one, it's a bunch of pieces on the ground, and they assemble Kevin Jacobs. Shout out to Kevin Jacobs, the winner of last season. So they have to build his statue up. Once they build his statue, they have to maneuver these hedges that have like a fucking... Bitch, they gotta maneuver the hedges so you can roll the ball down them so they can land in the hole or whatever.
Very cute competition.
We get through it. Essentially, Santina and John Michael, they're going against each other, and both of them are damn near done with the comp. Meanwhile, the people who are losing, which is no shade, Renee and Shania, they're struggling.
It's definitely given like Santina and John Michael are gonna be comp beasts because the first two competitions we've had are the kind of, we've had 2 seasons so far. It's kind of what the Big Brother equitable comps are. Yeah. And they're eating. I mean, just absolutely dominating. So I won't be surprised if they're able to keep winning like this.
Mm-hmm. So eventually, Santina ends up winning the HOH. So we know for a fact Santina's HOH, she's going to have to nom 2 people, and then either Renee or Shania will be the third nominee. We see very quickly, well, not very quickly, they are struggling.
Y'all. Yeah, no, it's a time lapse. It
takes them time, but eventually, after hours, Shania wins, so Renee will be the third nominee. So Santina is HOH, she has to make 2 noms. Shania is safe, so Renee is the third nominee. So 2 people go up to the next to Renee. We also know that there will be 5 people playing in veto. It's going to be the 3 nominees and then 2 people chosen. So 5 people play. If anyone is vetoed, Santina is replacing any of the nominees, whether you were the third nom or not, which is also kind of OP.
I don't think they thought about last nominees removed, it shouldn't be another one.
Yeah, I agree. But that is not the case. You will be renommed by the HOH. So that's a lot of power. That's essentially so like the HOH can nom 3 people each week.
Yeah. Even if the original nominee is the dead last one, it's like you're giving the HOH extra power if that person comes out the block. I mean, they could game that.
Yeah.
A really, really smart majority of lives could game the fuck out of that.
Yep. And that's scary. But I mean, they like their...
The thing is, Big Brother Canada is usually very chaotic, and I feel like we're even seeing it initially. I mean, since here's the very first HOH, I think that's obviously going to be open for new things. I was hoping that this was going to be a really, really strong thing for the women and the gays of the house, because they were clocking all throughout the second episode that the men were together. But what we've seen from the Digital Daily is that the only person Santina has any trust with is Zach. And we know Zach is loyal to his 3 other guys. So we don't know the entire alliance. By Tuesday, we would let the girls know. But so far, all we know is that Santina is close with Zach. Every other relationship, I mean, I saw Kuzi talking with John Michael. They were speaking about Santina earlier. Renee and Shania are really close.
And we know Santina isn't feeling hope. Sorry about that. But
she's not feeling hope.
But other than that, we don't. But we will have updates. So stay tuned on our channel. To Reality Kingdom, bitch. At T Reality Kingdom on all social media. We will be covering the digital dailies. If you don't want to watch them, we will. Sadly.
And we'll tell you what the fuck is tea.
And we will be updating you on every Tuesday. On every Friday, we will be also giving you a week update because the episodes are coming on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. On Friday, we're going to cover those episodes, or we'll give you a weekly update of what's going on, and then we'll rate the players on Friday. Stay tuned with us every Tuesday, every Friday, period, or whatever, right? So yeah, we will give you all the tea. Stay tuned, follow us, subscribe, baby. We out. I don't know.
Period.